Hey everyone, it's Cory and I'm here with Taylor Vannoy. We're going to be talking about the 2023 market recap. We're going to talk about what interest rates are doing right now. We're going to talk about strategies that we're seeing buyers and sellers using to get their offers accepted in this market and get their homes sold. So, Taylor, let's talk about what we saw in 2023, just kind of a breakdown of the numbers.
Yeah, so I have the numbers here in front of me. It looks like Grayson County as a whole was actually down a little over 8% for homes sold throughout the year.
hmm
But when you take Sherman separately, it's a little bit different. So Sherman was up about 5.8% in the number of homes sold throughout the year.
Okay.
And then when we look at the median sales price, so we have actually gone up in Grayson County as well, about 3.4%. So when we say that the number of units down or is down for the year, it doesn't necessarily mean prices are down. It just means the number of units or homes sold throughout the year was down a little bit. We did actually see a slight appreciation over the year for the median sales price in homes in Grayson County.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing as far as months of inventory, we saw a decrease in number of closings in November, which
hmm
led to, and it seems like everybody was trying to get their homes sold in December before the end of the year. There was
Yeah.
a lot of closings. People have incentives to get those closings in before the end of the year, and so we saw a big increase in those closings, and I think that's led to, we're back more at a balanced market. In
hmm
November, we were at about 7.5 months of inventory, which is really, 6 months of inventory is definitely into a buyer's market. 7.5 months is really leaning into that buyer's market. And now in January or December, we're back down around 5.7. So it's kind of a balanced market, slightly leaning towards a buyer's market.
hmm
And all those closings in December really kind of took a lot of that inventory off the market. So I'm really curious to see what will happen in January of 2024. I know there's been a lot of new listings coming to the market,
Yeah.
which you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely the great thing. The position kind of we're sitting in now, we are seeing a lot of homes hitting the market right now, which is great for buyers because it does give buyers a little bit more room to be picky. I know we've seen kind of both sides of it in the past, especially during COVID when the market was insane. You didn't have much of a choice at all. You kind of just got what you got, and you were thankful if you got anything.
Yeah.
And then we kind of slowed down a little bit and we saw where buyers were able to get a little bit more picky and able to negotiate with sellers. So we're kind of at that area where buyers are still in that spot where they can negotiate with sellers. There's a little bit more in the market to choose from, so they can really have the list of their absolute wants and see what's out there. It's also great for sellers that are looking to sell and also buy a new home. So it gives them more of an option as well. Um,
Yeah, I know one thing that people, whenever they've got to sell their home and buy, what we saw during COVID with limited inventory, they were like, well, I'm not going to put my house on the market until I find something.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
nobody was going to accept a contingent offer if you
hmm
didn't have your house listed. So that was a big thing that, just having more options and knowing that when you do get your home sold, there's not just one house that's probably going to be gone by the time your home sells. So it's if you were a seller, it was great during the COVID market.
hmm
If you had to turn around and buy, it was a little bit scary. And so with this more of a balanced market and more inventory, it's good for everybody in my opinion, and
Yeah.
it makes things a lot less hectic.
Well, and obviously we're supposed to be in a balanced market, or that's what we want to be towards. So
Right.
a lot of people think because of how quickly the market was moving back, a few years ago with COVID and everything, that when they look at it now, it does scare people because they tend to think things are slowing down or, there's no inventory or nobody's buying homes when realistically we're in a spot where we kind of should have been moving towards in more of a balanced market. And it's great, like you said, kind of great for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about mortgage rates. So back in October,
hmm
we saw rates just over 8%. And whenever you take that with the fact that we were, just the seasonality of the market going into the winter months, the market typically slows down. Buyers
hmm
aren't as heavily trafficking those, Zillow and Realtor.com searching for homes. They're not going out and looking at as many properties. So when you take that with the just over 8% rates, which I believe was the highest that they've been since the year 2000,
hmm
we did see a lot of we saw a lot of demand just leave the market. Buyers were kind of out of the market, and that led to, right here I've got Grayson County was an average of 84 days on market in December, and Sherman actually saw 98 days on market in December, a little bit longer than the average of Grayson
Mm-hmm.
County, which is kind of hard to explain. Sometimes there's some outliers there, but now we see so just over 8% in October. Now we're seeing, according to Mortgage News Daily, 30-year conventional loan at 6.8%, a 30-year FHA loan at 6.15%. And of course, we're not mortgage lenders. We're just reporting what we see on Mortgage News Daily. Of course, everybody's rate that they get is going to be dependent on their credit and all that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So, with all that said, what are some strategies that you're seeing your buyers and your sellers, and like, what are you talking to them about? Especially, somebody who is in that position where they need to sell their home and buy right now.
Yeah, so some different kind of strategies that I've been using as far as buyers go is we've still been seeing a lot of rate buy downs. So even though we are at a little bit lower right now, and that does make a huge difference, we still are, higher than what we've seen in the past. So a lot of people are doing rate buy downs, which is essentially when you ask the seller to for money at closing, and then you use that money to buy down your interest rate.
Right.
So again, that's something you can kind of talk to your mortgage lender about, but it does come in handy, and it can make your monthly payment a lot lower. So if that's something you're looking for, interested in, because we do have, that inventory on the market, it does give you more leverage to kind of look around and shop for the right house where the seller's willing to work with you a little bit on that. But we've definitely seen a lot of rate buy downs. As far as sellers in the market, we've been seeing a lot of contingent offers.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in the past, it was very hard to get a contingency accepted. And if you did get it accepted, more than likely your current house was already on the market and probably already under contract. We are seeing a lot more flexibility with that as well. So you may have a seller that accepts your house that's on the market but not under contract. I've had them where we don't even have the house listed yet. Like, we're ready to get pictures and things within the next couple of days, but we're just not there yet. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had contingencies accepted that way too.
Yeah.
So sellers are just a lot more flexible right now, which is also great for buyers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And personally, I know the last two contracts that I've gotten, my buyers have been able to negotiate significant amounts of money from the seller to pay down their interest rate just so
Mm-hmm.
that they can afford the monthly payment. So, with that said, like, we've seen rates come down. If you got pre-approved in September, October, November, and you're still in the market, but you haven't talked to your mortgage lender in the past couple months, I would advise everybody to go talk to their lender, just check and see what these lower rates will do for what you qualify for with a
Yeah.
monthly payment, number one. And then number two, make sure that you also are looking into what it would do if you get if you're able to negotiate seller concessions to buy your
Mm-hmm.
interest rate down. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
anyways, to wrap everything up, we're glad that you guys tuned into this. If you have any questions about the market, or if you guys have any questions about your specific home that you're looking to sell, the number one thing that we always recommend is to reach out to us. We'd love to help you come up with a game plan, a strategy on how to be successful in this market, and all that good stuff. So be sure and like this video, share it with a friend, and if you have any specific questions, leave a comment down below. We'll talk to y'all later.